welcome to the NXT review. We are the Dadley Boyz of What Culture. I'm Adam Wilborn, joined by Michael Havlett and Michael Sidgwick to review everything that happened on last night's episode of NXT. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to What Culture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube, where we do daily wrestling podcasts where we not only review the show formerly known as NXT 2.0. Pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a roundup of the week complete with a bloody good quiz, of course, on Wrestle Culture. As I said, though, joined by Hamlet and Sidgwick to review last night's NXT. One of the best shows ever.
No, sorry.
Was for me.
I think I'm going to be old middleman Mike, old fence sitter on this one. It was all right. It
sucked. I thought this was one of the best shows I've ever seen.
Well, we've covered it then, haven't we?
I mean, it was not a good show. If you're a wrestling fan, in any criteria of professional wrestling, actively pretty bad. I might have some fun with it. Stick around. In fact, I almost certainly will.
Yeah.
They could have done anything they wanted after that opening match, and I'd have still loved it.
It's to reverse the usual Wilborn principle, isn't it? Because normally you need the hot stuff to come in the last 5 minutes, and then that's the only thing you remember. Whereas the start was so hot, you just went into a coma pretty much after that. Like had all the best wrestling.
Like the dog who's been to the beach.
Yeah.
And he's had a little paddle and he shook himself dry. And when you finally get him home, he's all tuckered out. But he's in a sort of a blissful state of fatigue.
And because it was so early on...
You are a dog.
So it was because it was so early on in the show, it was obviously earlier in the morning that I was watching this. I almost gave myself a hernia not waking up Eric and Aunt Louise when they counted the three. It was like... It was the noise.
Let's go downstairs.
The noise you make. I can't be asked. It's the noise you make with Just Bleed, but just in celebration. It was like, they're so happy that they'd regained, which actually technically makes them twice as good as the likes of American Alpha, DIY, War Raiders already.
Yeah,
and that's just facts. I'm just stating facts here.
So do you know that? So by that logic, by your logic, right? The Miz is better than Miz is better than Bret Hart.
He's 8 times as good as Gunther, isn't he? Technically,
that's what he's telling us.
He never shows it, does he? He always tells us.
We're going to find out for sure at Survivor Series, aren't we?
Anyway, should we get into this show?
Yeah.
Because it started with the best storyline in wrestling right now. The ongoing scandal at Chase.
And I don't know if he believes it or not.
Well, about one of. Qualify, yeah.
One of, Bloodline as well. The ongoing scandal at Chase U. I'm heavily invested in this, I have to say. And I thought that the way that they just weaved it.
You sound like you're coming.
Yeah. I'm pretty close, to be honest, guys.
You had Tony D there for a minute.
The spoof of like a newsreel. You saw it for the trailer. Obviously, we all watched the trailer for NXT because we were so excited about it. And they meet Chase U on the way into the building. All the cameras are going off, etc., etc. And Andre Chase addresses the investigation, saying, "Look, I'm fully cooperating, but we've got a title match to win." He looks a bit of a state. He's a bit disheveled. Duke Hudson, loving life, still in the best of moods. He's got his trophy, etc., etc. JC Jane's trying to look at least a little bit inconspicuous. Same as Thea Hale. And Chase U student section, boy, it was horrible to see that. You never want to see that. Just people just not even sitting on their hands. They were just glum. There was people walking out during this. Imagine leaving NXT during the show. That's how scandalous this has to be.
Look, shut up. There was I'm cooperating with the investigation. Quite a well-observed line, that, because that is what everyone says when they are banged to rights and they can't say, oh, I'm guilty, and they're just hanging on to the pretense of innocence.
I like the Chase U guy reading his copy of Normal News Daily. Like, let's see what's happening in the Normal News rather than watch Chase U. I like the...
Must remember to watch the normal stream tonight.
Yeah. I like the Chase U thing. The people in the crowd like losing faith in Andre Chase.
It's so good.
As part of the ongoing investigation.
Fake.
I think it's... I want to know how deep this scandal goes. I think, Chasegate, as I'm calling it.
Andre Chase, the devil.
Oh, can you imagine? No. It's almost as big as Treygate from yesterday. This. When you want to get into that, we'll save that for a little bit later on when you get even more fed up with this show.
The people have spoken already. So
people are idiots, though, Jeremy.
The people are still speaking. It's a hot topic.
Anyway, let's talk about something we can all agree on, how great this opening match was. It was the family versus Chase U for the tag titles. Andre Chase and Duke Bloody Hudson versus Tony D and our best friend, Stax. Chase and Stax.
So your best friend was MGF.
Huh? Chase and Stax start off some wonderful Bret Hart-esque chain wrestling to begin with, some roll-ups, cradles, etc.
You are particularly excruciating today. Can I just say that?
You left this to the last bit of the day. I've been getting giddier and giddier.
I didn't leave anything. You're the one who tells us when to come into the studio.
Actually, you saw schedule this. You can set your own drop there, haven't you?
Yeah. And you fell right into it.
I just turn up for some reason.
Everything breaks down.
We are recording this later today, so me and Sid, you've forgotten most of what happened, whereas the other one has just spent more time remembering it.
Yes.
It's the worst case scenario.
And,
it's the one thing we didn't want to happen.
I will say it wasn't my call to record at this time. Right? I just got a little bit of a word from someone who said, been out celebrating a little bit. Would you mind delaying the record so the Von Cord can get me over in time?
Yeah, so, that is fair enough.
Don't blame me. It's nothing to do with me. Everything breaks down. Stax hits a picture-perfect flip dive to take us to a break. We come back. Duke Bloody Hudson hits a sort of like release rock bottom, and the student section start walking out. What could have caused this? Anyway, Hudson's trying to get to the tag, but Andre Chase is distracted by the lack of, his normally rabid support from over there. If he does,
give me a C. Oh.
Yeah, we're not got there yet. Just don't jump the gun. So he comes in, he suplexes Stax into Tony D in the corner. High crossbody, everyone's hearts are in their mouths. 2 count. A middle rope elbow into a German suplex gives Stax a 2 count. More students leave. Hudson hits a slingshot German. Duke Hudson's bloody great, by the way. Goes for the same on Tony D, but that costs him. Tony gets him out the ring, sends him into the ring steps. But Chase comes off the apron with a big somersault senton to take out Tony. The family come back into it, though. They hit that power and glory move of theirs. I thought that was it. In comes Hudson, though, to break it up right at the last second. He makes his comeback as Andre Chase, and then the Chase U stomps come into it. But the lack of student involvement, in fact, the increased walkout as a result of all this distracts him. He gets rolled up, 2 count, hit with a spine buster. Duke Hudson gets knocked off the apron. Bada bing, bada boom. Chase gets covered by Stax. 1, 2, 3. The family are tag team champions again.
It definitely was Stax, wasn't it?
Yes.
That's good, because at one point they will tell the story of, well, Stax will, because he's real, turn on Tony D and become the actual boss, the underboss. So maybe they can harken back to this footage and say, well, it was me doing the business. I was the one getting the results.
Not the first time.
I was the one who was doing the earning, So that's, I guess, something. It was one good bit of this match, which otherwise was just a rushed procession of moves. Everything's so rushed in NXT, and it just happens. There's no, good emoting, because these characters can't do good emoting. It's just... NXT is a show that when the wrestling happens, I kind of find it surreal. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm watching a match like this, and I'm watching do moves to each other and barely sell, and it's all very rushed. Yada, 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 another move. Thinking, oh, yeah, the wrestle at the end of this. and I find the experience of the talent on NXT wrestling surreal, because it's such a... All right, we have to do this at the end, don't we? I did like the 1-2 kick out when you thought Andre Chase was doomed. That got me. I went, I didn't go get in, more of this. I didn't go, come on, Chase, I still believe in this institution. I went, that wasn't the finish. I was fooled. I wasn't exhilarated, disappointed. Didn't feel any discernible emotion, actually. But I did go, I was fooled.
That feeling Sid describes as surreal is my favourite thing about NXT, because it's just exciting. It's like, I like wrestling, and these characters that I love are doing the thing I like. That's weird. I like that. The teachers and the mafia guys are having a wrestling match. Yeah, who'd have thought? I love that feeling.
You had a row with Ebro about this on Twitter, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, no, not a row at all.
Not a row, but I nearly had a row with him.
A difference of opinions on the show, because he does watch it. He is one of the few defenders of the brand.
Quite right.
He likes the wrestling on it.
Yeah. I think the wrestling is...
I'll have no Ibu slander on this podcast.
He should appreciate more on NXT. It's no more than just about the wrestling. Though.
The wrestling is like a welcome addition and sometimes distraction on NXT.
Yeah.
It serves its purpose. And I really earnestly mean that. All jokes aside, like I could always do with a bit less wrestling in my wrestling, and I get just the right amount of NXT, usually. This was well worked and not well wrestled. I don't want the wrestling to be bad. When they absolutely have to get in the ring, I don't want it to stink. And some of the execution here was useless. Like I really like Stack's dive was really good.
Yep.
I did come up for the finish.
I think you're compromised though.
Possibly,
it didn't look bad.
That's fair. I did come up for the finish.
It should be like we cannot have integrity with him on this bloody podcast.
Yeah. I cared who won and lost.
Absolutely.
I care about both these teams, and I care about them both being champions. So I was interested in the finish.
You're the best of both worlds off the back of this. Like this is the big bang of like epic storylines within NXT.
They are taking a risk with Chase U. I think it was really great watching Thea Hill get so close and then just fall short, and then Chase U doing it as a tag team, and maybe like her and JC going to be part of it. And it's all going to be all right. You've taken the belts off him. I'm nervous for where this all goes with the investigation.
From Chase U to Chase Poo, more like.
Indeed. Bad match. Broadly loved it.
Great match. Loved every second of it.
Rushed and not great.
Hard disagree. But
They're just... It's like they go so quickly in a manner that is not remotely exciting. I can't articulate it. It's like, move.
Knocking Vic Joseph.
Like it should be this like all action, like sugar rush.
Yeah.
Nothing. There's no heft to it. I'm not gripped. I'm not locked in. But I'm like, I don't know, moves are fast. Like they go so quickly and yet in such an unexciting way.
You're not getting speed muscle on NXT, are you?
It's like bang average stuff in 1.5 speed. That's what it is.
I was walking on air off the back of this. Lita announces the Iron Survivor qualifying matches. Roxanne Perez versus Lash Legend. Trick versus Joe Coffey, as we mentioned on the preview. Dom's walking backstage. Baron Corbin comes up, and they both agree how much they hate Wesley, effectively. Then it was time for Alpha Academy on the Supernova sessions. Noam says a special night. Tonight we get to witness Lash Legend qualify for NXT Deadline. Tonight's guests are worthy of the Supernova sessions, but he's got the Heritage Cup in a box with big chains all over it, so no one can take it. He welcomes Alpha Academy. He says, look, you've achieved so much together, beloved by the WWE Universe, but this must be the best thing, being so close to my Heritage Cup. And Chad Gable says, thank you. That cup's great, but you are kind of lucky to have it after last week. Jakara Jackson fires in and says, look, Akira Tozawa came close last week, but not close enough. And Tozawa says, you take away the rest of the metaphor, and I'd be Heritage Cup champion. Lash says that Dar's keeping the cup on lock, just like she's qualifying for Iron Survivor. And Otis just says, you can say anything you want to me, baby, and thrusts his hips. Lash calls for security. Dar says...
Horny, isn't he, Otis?
Yeah.
Maybe he's a perfect fit for NXT.
Mm-hmm.
Dar...
Bring, like, the power back.
Yeah, it's not been that horny for a while, is it, NXT?
Dar says, let's stick to the topic. Let's stick to the cup. Oromensa says, why don't you just stick to doing your TikTok dance? And everyone starts rowing until Gable shooshes everybody. He says, Noam's got a point, though. His name is synonymous with the Heritage Cup. Dar's like, yep, I'm the best. No one can beat me. You have to do a global tournament to pick someone, and they still can't beat me. It's tough at the top. And Gable says, well, how about to make your life easy? We've got your next challenger right here.
So rubbish.
Dar,
what a terrible gag this was.
Laughs and says, I see what's happening. And, if he doesn't want to do the match tonight because he's recovering after what Shinsuke did to him, they're implying at this point, by the way, that it's Otis.
Mm-hmm. But wait.
Why don't we have the match next week? And he says, he accepts basically without confirming who it is. And Maxine Dupri.
Made Otis look a didn't it?
I suppose a little bit, yeah. But no, because he was injured. Like mega injured off the back of the Nakamura match.
Mega injured.
Yeah.
Shut up, man. Swiveling his hips and all sorts. Looked fine.
Maxine says, look, he's got a big gas tank. He's got an appetite for destruction. His hips don't lie. And Dar's like, yeah, bring it on. And then they go, he's an Olympian. He goes, what? Wait, an Olympian? He's a former tag team champion, former Raw and SmackDown tag team champion. Oh, he says, yeah, no take-backs. Chad Gable is the next challenger. He decks Dar, and they dance, and Metaphor can't believe what they've agreed to here.
Right, first of all, the construction of that very obvious bait and switch gag was not good. Like, really terrible. I find Alpha Academy increasingly I don't like them anymore. The losers, they're doing the same thing every single week. Chad Gable, he's one of the best in wrestling, and he always gets underlooked, undermentioned in those conversations, but he's doing frivolous bollocks like this. I don't find it funny. I don't find it amusing. I don't think the setup for that bait and switch gag was very good. And what did I say on the preview? I said that Noam Dar's probably going to act in an obnoxious manner, and then Chad Gable's going to tell him to shoosh.
Yep. Yeah. You got it right.
It's just crap. WWE being crap.
Yeah, this was just a lot of wrestlers saying words in front of me to get to the match that we knew was definitely going to happen. Like, I don't know what I think of the metaphor. It's a great entrance. Noam Dar doesn't have great matches. He probably will have one with Chad Gable, but it's for a trophy that is meaningless.
Why does he have great matches in this character? It's such a weird thing.
Yeah, a really polished aesthetic of the metaphor. But
and that's what you're into.
It is. But that's about all they've got at the moment, and I can only put in 6 to 8 months more investment before I need a bit more.
I think I was still in an orgasmic trance because I can barely remember.
Jesus Christ.
Lash Legend
versus... orgasmic trance.
Oh, I'm happy. I'm just happy.
You can be happy without coming.
Lash Legend versus Roxanne Perez. I had Survivor qualifier next. Roxy dominates early on because, of course, she does. She's Roxanne Perez. Knocks Lash out of the ring, goes into the ropes. Jakara Jackson trips her. The refs had enough at this point. Gets rid of the metaphor. Perez gets countered into an over-the-shoulder backbreaker. Legend drives her into the corner, but she gets sent outside for a slingshot dive. Faceplant gets a 2 count for Perez, but Jakara Jackson just comes back, and the referee's like, what are you doing back out here?
That's the same question.
Go away. And this distraction allows Kiana James, who obviously got a history with Roxanne Perez, and mentioned last week to Tiffany Stratton that they were going to try and screw her out of it. Grabs onto Perez. Legend hits the pump kick. Choke bomb. 1, 2, 3. Lash Legend qualifies for NXT Deadline and the best match there is.
Is that the appropriate verb?
What's this?
Hits. She missed it by f***ing miles. Did she not?
She put out, yes. And it was like her best match ever. Low bar. Best match she's ever had. And she missed it by this much.
Yep.
Like
Indy Hartwell taking Xylee's kick on Monday Night Raw looked like, and like the flushest sweet chin music you've ever seen in your life compared to this. But also, best match ever.
Yeah, best match she's ever had. You know. But in bad news, away from that good news, I don't like this Roxanne Perez direction. I don't like it at all. So I think they're obviously playing the long game with a heel turn, that she's gradually getting more and more frustrated. But this is looking like it's going to be the third feud in a row now for Roxanne Perez, where she loses all the big matches as a result of the woman that she's feuding with because of interference or shenanigans or whatever, wins the match in the end against a person that's been cheating and costing her, and then just everything goes back to status quo. Like, this is the wrong way to do this heel turn. It feels like she's on a losing streak where there's no actual payoff.
You know, she's getting into Deadline, though, isn't she?
Possibly, yeah.
I think they'll do that.
I can't believe they've beat her as much as they have, or they've allowed her to get beaten down as much as they have. Like, this character is just like flashback to the Royal Rumble, and people just call her up now. Like, she's,
yeah.
You know, she's had that moment. Like, they tried to like skirt around taking the belt off her without beating her, but when she was put back in the match and then didn't win it, so it's like, well, you pretty much did lose it. You had your chance to keep it, and you didn't. Like, she was such a winner and a winning presence, and clearly one of the best wrestlers they had. And I think, like, here's me, like, earnest analysis of NXT as a wrestling show here. I think they've done a pretty terrible job of keeping like her character strong, even if it's to inform some sort of heel turn where she's sick of trying to please the fans.
Do you think
play my rule?
Do you think they're going to just do exactly what they did with Bron Breakker in terms of like, well, you would be ready to go up right now, but we want to see if you can pull off a heel run?
The spaces are at a premium now. With Papa.
Like I assumed she would be going up ASAP because Rhea Ripley's champion, and that's just a ready-made, like straight out the gate feud for her. But it doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime soon. I think they're going to hold her down in NXT like they did with Braun Breaker, have her do a heel run. Maybe even the heel thing happens at Deadline, where she copies one of the greatest tactics I've ever seen in the Iron Survivor Challenge.
There's been 2 of them.
Yeah. Where Grayson Waller just played spoiler at the end, didn't he?
Yeah. And it's kind of like came in, got the pins. Yeah.
It's such a good match type. You watched the bit where they explained it all, and I was like, oh my God, it's like a few weeks away.
Penalty box.
Is it on a Wednesday or a Saturday?
It's on a Saturday. It's a premium live event, this.
Is it in the...
It's at the PC, I think. No, maybe not, actually. I think they're back out on the road.
On the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Total Mortgage Arena in Connecticut.
What's it called?
The Total Mortgage Arena.
Well, how can you make that dirty? Because that's the new gimmick.
Connecticut, more like.
There's another one.
Oh, yeah, you could have gone down a different road there, so we'll take that.
Basically didn't.
Yeah, that's where they're going on the road with it, and it's a sellout, probably.
Yeah.
If I was anywhere near Connecticut, I'd be going to that. This is my favourite match type of all time.
The thing you're thinking of, and I'm thinking of, to make that dirty, is the kind of thing I can imagine Shane Douglas in 1995 saying, like, no, when he comes back in 1996 to ECW, those guys in Connecticut didn't even know what they had in Shane Douglas, but let me tell you, unlike Dick Flair, I'm the franchise.
I'm not spending any more time in Scamford.
Scamford, Connecticut.
And he just kind of runs out. Are you sick of Vince McAsshole? Because I am.
We go backstage, and all the guys are chatting.
Shane Douglas being like Shawn Michaels NXT.
I love Shane Douglas being a character on this podcast, by the way. More of Shane. Guy ruled in kind of.
Like a real small dose for a small match.
Yeah. Hank and Tank, they're all watching the action and talking about it, of course.
Yeah.
Hank and Tank are like jealous of Tony D and Stax, and Tank wants their team to take it to the next level. Axiom's like, oof, it's such a good line. It's such a typical WWE line there. New tag champs, maybe even new Heritage champion next week. What do you think? Oh, by the way, Axiom.
Yeah, where were your manners then?
Very much normal conversations.
Yeah. Although, did you see what else happened here with your peepers? Notice this?
See this? Heard about this?
Briggs and Jensen. Breadcrumbs. That's what I love about this show, the minute details that they go into. Jensen's like, oh, God, new tag champs. Hey,
I
Briggs.
give you love.
We should keep our eyes on the tag titles. Hey, Briggs. Briggs wasn't concentrating. He's on his phone. Who's he on his phone to? Probably Fallon Henley, because that story's keeping on going, baby.
I think they're going their separate ways. That's it. And if you must go, I wish you love.
Idris and Ofe fancy the tag titles as well, and then Ankel and Umberto come in.
Such a total banger. Yeah. I've been listening to it since I saw that he came out on Level Up.
The fan-made video packages about their split set to that.
Oh my God! Yeah. Move over my way.
Fallon Henley doesn't know which separate way to take. Move over my way.
Angel and Umberto come in. There's a big row, and then in comes the new tag team champions, Tony D and Stax. Oh, we got it back! Stax like, two tag champs.
Terrible.
Oh, that's right. Hey, we got some business to handle with that guy still. Still not finished. The story's still not finished. But for right now, we got the titles back, baby. Ankel's like, oh, enjoy it, won't last. Tony's like, oh, last time we saw you two, getting your asses whooped by the Creeds. Getting put through tables, am I right? Next. And what's her name?
I've already forgotten, and we double-checked before recording.
Yes. But she's new. There's a lot of new characters on the show.
Chase Poo.
Anna Kiefer.
Anna Kiefer.
Says, one second, lost my place now. Says, hey, fellas, teach your man's can wait, all right? Well, next week we're busy. We got to celebrate with the family, huh? They leave.
Your Starks is better.
Big brawl breaks out.
Oh, I didn't consider an Anna Kiefer voice.
No, I didn't
until
that
about 10 seconds ago.
Are you sure you had that much preparation time?
I love that as baby faces and as champions, rather than wrestle, and look, I support this because I like Stacks and I want him to enjoy his job. Basically, the family exist to throw parties, functions, normal gatherings, meals. Like that's what there's
what you do in your family.
A tag gathering. It's not about wrestling and setting up challenges. Is it? It's just getting people together. I like that. I prefer.
Yeah. Solo.
Yeah. I'd rather have these vignettes than matches, so I'm all for it.
Big celebration, in-ring celebration, one would assume, next week.
Another celebration.
Family. Fine by me.
Yep.
That's another week where they don't lose the tag titles, as I keep saying. It's all I care about.
And like probably a dishevelled Andre Chase tries to break it up or get out of whatever situation he's in with them.
Wait, how long is it? Oh, still got 6 days to go, for Christ's sake. Wishing my life away here. But anyway, sorry. I don't need the toilet, by the way.
Okay, good, yeah.
Hello? I went before we recorded.
Mr. Mosaic? Yeah, 1 second. Yeah, I've just got to have a quick chat about the live show next week with Mr. Mosaic, who runs the Mosaic Tap, obviously.
Yeah.
It's funny that he's called that.
Yeah. Look at that. Keep talking. Bye.
That's like, is your arm gone again?
Yeah.
I'm getting a bit pissed off with this. And that's technically a work call. But this is a job.
It's a work call.
This is a job too, though, isn't it?
It's a work call. I mean, I'm not being funny, Hamflet. As you heard on the AEW Dynamite preview, I took a phone call to basically confirm a dinner reservation I've got.
So we've kind of created a law for that in the podcast universe. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, basically, I've set a bad precedent. So if anything, you should be upset with me and not Wilborn.
I'm willing to forgive, though. I'm that kind of guy.
I'm that kind of guy who's like can own up to things.
No tag champ in the house, huh?
Congratulations, champ.
Thank you,
Congratulations, Stats.
Hey, what are you making of the match, huh?
How are you doing?
It was really hard fought.
Great dive.
Thank you very much, guys.
How's the back?
Pretty good. Before we get into the fun stuff, though, I do have a little something I want to get off my chest. This one's got me getting bad, guys. There's a big problem in gym etiquette, right? Everybody knows, re-rack your weights. Everybody knows when you're done with the bench, wipe it down so there's no sweat stains for the next person. But there's one thing slipping through the cracks, Siggy. Specifically you old guys, huh? Where you like to stand there in the bathroom, look in the mirror, start brushing and flossing your teeth, trimming your nose hairs, maybe slicking back the 6 strands of hair you got left on the top of your head. But when you're doing it, put some boxers on. Why are you standing there in your bare ass and your balls for the whole locker room to see? I get it, you just got out of the shower, so go dry off your razors, put some boxers and pants on, maybe wrap a towel around you, and then handle your business. Think about the rest of us. Come on.
You're not wrong, Stacks.
You're not wrong.
I've never been to a gym. For the first time anywhere on this goddamn podcast.
I've never been to a gym, as you might be able to tell.
I don't go to gyms often, but it's my least favourite thing about being a member. You know what? One of the things, I admire people that are comfortable enough to do that. I am not one of those people. So I just get stressed out at the idea that not everybody's the same as me, awkwardly getting changed while facing the locker, trying to get out there as quick as possible. I'd like a shower when I get home. I arrange just a shower when I get home. I don't use the gym public shower. I just don't have that kind of body confidence. You'll be fine with that, Stacks. You got your
absolutely.
By the way,
what delicious coffee this is. Huh.
Where's it from? I know where it's from.
Good brews.
It's unbelievable. Gateshead Interchange, if you're ever in the area. What did he go for a latte?
I went for a peppermint latte.
You can't have mint and coffee, Stacks.
Well, as you say around here, it is pretty mint, the coffee, huh? So do you know what I like to do either before or after the gym? On camera, which way you're meant to do this, is a big glass of eggs. Huh? Gulp down some eggs, some protein or whatever it is it gives the Rocky and all that. Yeah. Sige, what is the deal with eggs, though?
Eggs are menstruation. So eat them happily. Check them down. Basically, it's from the poultry. It's poultry, no, it's chicken. I don't know what food group it is. Basically, it's a tasty treat. You can have it in several different ways. I like my eggs fried, personally, because as much as I like to think of myself somewhat pretentiously as like a guy who's like a bit of a whiz kid in the kitchen, I kind of poach an egg to save my life, and it makes me very sad. I keep meaning to keep trying, Stacks. I love poached egg. I love poached egg and hollandaise sauce. Oh, my God. They go with breakfast, but I can't make it very well. So I like to fry them. Your frying pan real nice. Not too nice, but real nice. And then you put it on. And I grind the pepper pretty much as soon as that starts to congeal. Okay. Scrambled, it has to be cooked really well. It has to be delicate scramble. Can't be like a rubbery scramble. Oh, not for me. Dippy eggs. I haven't had it. It's a child's cuisine that you guys like to eat. Well, Wilborn, he's going for a piss. I don't know what you like other than that ravioli.
Oh, I love some goddamn ravioli.
I thought so. I would never have eaten like a dippy egg to myself, having not been, 7 years old for 31 years. When you make them for your kids, you realise, hang on.
Never done that before.
A bit of toast and a dippy egg. Your kids have never had
no,
eggs.
they've had them. My wife made. I can't make dippy eggs. I'll ruin them. I make scrambled egg. Like my wife's saying, we own poached eggs by the way. It's her absolute favourite, but she has to know the places where they do good poached eggs, or she has to do them herself because a bad one looks. I can't be arsed with poached egg. I think it's a bit watery, but like she takes that very seriously. I'm a scrambled egg guy.
Scrambled eggs.
But again, that's one of those cases where I'd like to make my own because I'd like it. I like the texture a certain way. Whereas if you're ordering out, you don't know what you're going to get for it.
You don't know. Scrambled's very, very divisive. Risky order. Right. So what do you mean, right? You don't know what eggs are?
No, I know what eggs are. I just want to know what the deal with it is. Chicken's ass. What's going on there, huh?
Yeah.
Anyway,
fast food and good for you. One of the better egg board slogans ever.
Hey, you got a button on this, ain't you? About CG, what's the deal with
egg? You can have them fried.
Big night.
What's the relevance of an egg? You usually have like a topical weekly thing.
I wanted to talk about the gym, but I'm fairly sure I've done gym jokes before, so I was looking for other jokes, and I saw eggs, and I thought there was some good jokes there. So
right.
And if you're going to go to the gym, Rocky drinks.
Yeah, that's how you got there. That was it.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Okay. A
to B to C. The egg. Big night of celebration, obviously, last night when the tag titles for a second goddamn time. And afterwards, CJ, I went out dressed as a chicken. And I actually got with a girl dressed as an egg. And we answered a lifeline question. It was the chicken. 3 jokes for you, 3 questions, CJ. I'll keep it clean now because that one's kind of, if you think about it, it's
I've never heard that joke before. It's really good.
What's an egg's favorite vacation spot, huh?
Right, so fried eggs.
Like the Seychelles
or Easter Island.
Oh.
Should we do the... Oh, my God.
Game within a goddamn game.
Right, so...
Willie's taking his time on this call.
He really is.
Seychelles heads.
Yep.
Easter Island tails.
That flipper.
Nice shiny sterling pound coin. Oh, that's a good flip. Oh! Tails.
I've forgotten.
Yeah.
I think
Tails was Easter Island.
Okay. Easter Island.
What is an egg's favorite vacation spot? New York City.
That's what better.
Yeah.
Second question, second joke for you.
Should you go on holiday to get away from like your surroundings?
What do you call a hen?
You're not going on holiday to your innards.
What do you call a hen that counts her own eggs?
Down there. Some guys down there. Sorry.
What do you call a hen that counts her own eggs? Picture that.
A hen. So it's not hen. A hen that counts her own eggs.
And get this one.
Counts her own eggs. So it's kind of like an accountant.
Anything cluck?
Anything in cluck.
Cluck you later.
Count you chickens. Cluck you later.
Closer. You getting closer?
I don't think we are. I think you're leading us down the garden path.
Sucks. Yeah, took a sharp intake of breath at cluck you later.
That he was going to get rumbled.
Yeah.
As opposed to when he admits to felonies on national television and he doesn't really get scared at all.
Very different things.
I don't think I'm going to get this.
No. Don't know, Stacks.
Well, a hen that counts her own eggs. Mathman chicken.
Ah, that's good. That's good stuff. Good gear, Stacks.
Final question for you, CG.
Sorry, being holy.
Why is it so sad to be an egg? Why is it so sad to be an egg?
How do you get cum in this?
I'd settle for the last joke.
Yeah, I don't know how you work cum in.
No.
Just watch me work my magic.
Why is it sad to be an egg? Because once you get cracked. Sorry, you got
nothing. I got nothing.
Right,
I got
okay.
nothing.
Why is it so sad being an egg? Because when the white stuff comes out,
Disgusting.
it's something like the
You're tired.
Yeah, when the white stuff comes out, you already cooked or something. I don't know. I don't know. It's something about cum though, probably.
Why is it so sad to be an egg? You only get beat once, laid once, and the only boy to sit on your face is your mother. That's the way I got you, fella. See what you got.
Oh. Excellent work, Stacks. Excellent work.
Bye, Stacks.
Bye, Stacks.
Thanks very much, Mr. Isaac. Yeah. See you next Tuesday.
Oh,
What I miss?
Oh, one of his best.
Maybe, well, certainly one of. I'm a recency bias guy. I've said this on certain podcasts. Was that the best Stacks joke ever?
It says the punchline construction. There's not been many finer than that one.
Oh, God.
Have to tell me afterwards.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah, there's not much time.
What was he talking about?
Eggs.
Oh.
Nah. Well, maybe.
Yeah.
Love a poached egg, me. Very good at poaching eggs.
Yeah.
So if you want any tips.
Annoys me because I was just talking about how I'm not good at poaching eggs.
Oh, well, we'll talk afterwards.
Yes, we will.
Right.
Do you make a good hollandaise sauce, though?
I have no idea what that is. So,
It's got something to do with the eggs Benedict or eggs Florentine. I don't know. It's Tory egg dish.
It's eggs Benedict.
Yeah. Just have an egg.
right, moving on. Lyra Valkyria, women's champion, is reviewing tapes of Xylee. She's doing the research, and then she gets invited. This is previously, to I think we've all seen before the infamous Warriors Tea ceremony before
Before every major title match. Isn't it?
yeah.
It's the rich history of Warriors Tea.
Lyra walks into this.
We're not laughing at the ritual in and
No.
of itself.
No.
Simply WWE's portrayal of it.
How they normalise this. It's like, oh, yeah, well, that stands to reason. Yeah. Get that done. Probably get down the gym and defend the title.
Yeah. Xia welcomes her in, gives her a garment, traditional garment, etc. Lyra says, I've never been invited to something like this before. Xia says how her ancestors honoured their rivals before combat. And they bow, and Xia says a deep bow displays deep respect. And it's not something Lyra expected to get from Xia. And they sit. Xia says her warrior spirit has been alive in the last month. She wants to be noticed. They wants them to be on an even battlefield next week. She puts the tea leaves in, pours the water.
It was very weak-looking tea.
And the tea leaves transform. She says that represents what happens to them during the match. Tea must brew at the correct temperature.
With the tea leaves in a way.
Wait for that. For the correct amount of time.
Kind of last guy to get tea leaf.
For the correct amount of time, they'll be ruined. Lyra says, those tea leaves look more delicate than they look. And Xia says, yeah, well, they eventually crumble and break down, which will probably happen next week.
Wait a second. We're talking about them and also each other.
Xia pours the tea, and Lyra says, yeah, looks pretty weak. I'm not going to do it. Not going to drink it. Respectfully, though, of course. And Xia says, well, if you don't, next week...
I think she refused to drink it because of the week.
No, I just presumed that because I thought the exact same thing. I was like...
Yeah, I think it's more the fact that she's been kicking people's heads off.
Yeah,
and
probably
now she's
that.
feigning respect, not for the flavour profile of the tea that was just brewed in front of her.
Valkyria's got I prefer a flan.
Xia says, well, now...
It's a bit weak, so I'm not going to drink it.
But Xia says, well, if you don't, I'm going to show no remorse.
Got any milk for that?
Yeah.
This is rubbish.
Imagine finish.
Well, no, Xia says, if you don't drink that tea, I'm going to show no remorse next week. Which I
finishing
like the
this.
idea of she's about to win the world title, and she goes, she did drink the tea, though. So
Yeah.
Like, it's finished. It's all ready to go. They're ready to shoot it. The scripts are all sorted. And they just feel like, oh, we'll just like send it up top brass for final sign off. And there's William Regal's like, I've got one suggestion.
Instead of putting the leaves in the warmer, the ideal temperature is look won't piss. So.
And can Charlie Dempsey be in it, please? 'Cause that was working.
It's all right. All the other sons that I wanted to go and be with are all right on Raw and SmackDown because that's why I went away.
Lyra says, well, so be it. Next week, may the strongest warrior win. And they bow. Lyra walks off, and I have no idea what I've just watched.
I don't know what I've just watched. All I know is maybe she didn't like the the colour of that tea. And that's why she didn't drink it. So I'm a bit weak there. You could have let it stew for a bit longer, let it brew. Because the idea was, I don't respect you enough to drink the tea, after your conduct. And she gave her a deep bow, which was the sign of respect.
Yeah. Was it respect but not trust, possibly? I don't know.
Okay, what's next on the show?
When do you want to talk about Trey stuff?
Whenever you
Now,
think's
just
best.
get it over with. What is the final result of the vote?
Final result. There's 3 hours left, but I don't want it to change because right now, Trey has 31%, but Nay's got 69%. So
Nice.
So you're right, Sidge. I'll hold my hands up. But a lot more people, you see, eat their tray than you thought. Adam Blair, at Adam Wilton 4, who often takes care of the
Data.
Of this sort of thing, says he's got a small table, like a civilized member of society. Colton, friend of the show from day one, has a coffee table that extends over his legs.
Nice.
Kaz says, tray or else I'll have 100% a lap full of gravy, not a euphemism. John Harrison says, trays can suck it, but cushions are goated.
See, I think
Basically the same.
I think so. I think you're creating something that isn't your legs.
It's just not comfy. Like, it's still on my legs.
That's what it's got a cushion for, though.
Cushion and...
No, you
don't have it up there. You've got it like here.
Perfect level.
It's this height. You're sitting.
No, between those two is where the tray will sit.
Where is it on my body?
Down. About there?
It's here.
Yeah, basically there.
It's here. It's a portable table.
Yeah.
It hurts my elbows.
And like lean into the side.
Also, like,
That's like bringing it across like that.
Let's go.
The Peter Kay aspect of Zach's reply. We had them growing up. I haven't seen one as an adult. Who remembers eating off a tray?
Correct.
Old-fashioned form of eating, want that?
Who remembers being a baby? Because these two do.
Bernard says trays are the height of luxury.
Yeah, I would agree.
Santino says if I need to cut my meat, I'll use a TV tray. If not, no tray. The arse, formerly known as Jimmy Blade, says, no, but I'm fat and my stomach forms its own table.
Good. Thanks, Jimmy.
Actually, I'm going to circle back to the most insane take we've got. Drew says, yes, but it sucks. Kyle says, tray all day. Michael says, only need a tray if you use cutlery. That we agree on. I think it's fair.
Yeah, a snack or whatever. It's not a necessity. A meal. Talking about.
AD says, a pillow over the legs.
Get a pillow tray, then it's flat.
Says
that? AD. Russ, depends on the meal. Hot meal, don't feel so nice. Burning your undercarriage. Adam says, pillow/cushion for the win. Dan, my tray is the nearest available cushion. Alex says, a tray is a portable tabletop. PJW says, what a good way to find Tories. Donald says, my wife is a tray, but I am a nay.
House divided.
Mo says, trays are for the pompous. Ali says, what kids? What sort of animal doesn't use a tray? Says Ali.
Yep.
Kind of chap who sits at the dinner table.
Mark Watson. Yeah, but we don't disagree about sitting at the dinner table.
Sitting at the dinner table is fine, but if you want to bring the table to the sofa, you do it via a tray.
I think we watch enough television in this day and age.
Oh, Fraser Cranium.
If anything, I'd call them stupid phones.
Honestly, it's so much better just not watching telly during meal times.
Oh, no. Got a hard disagree on that one.
Yeah.
You watch telly any old time.
Yeah, I know, including when you're eating.
Yeah.
More.
Honestly, like...
There's loads of wrestling on the network. No.
Fraser Cranium, birthday boy?
Yeah.
Yeah?
No, it
Birthday
was his son.
Young Fraser.
It was his son.
Okay. It says,
Not paying
Jesus,
attention, are you?
effing Christ, a tray, we're not animals, we live in a society.
Thank you.
Where was the mad one? There it is. John Oldfield. I love you, John. Thank you all for the continued support we've had over the years. But this is insane. I just hold it with one hand whilst holding a fork with the other. Now, that's a hot plate. What are you...
I can't.
What are you doing, John?
You're making work for yourself.
Hold it on the tray not only prevents you from resting your legs, but the plate can easily move off the tray if you move your legs, making it really uncomfortable.
Yeah, it is an uncomfortable sensation. Like, keep your legs still, keep the tray, move your arms.
What are you doing when you're watching telly? My legs aren't going...
Yeah.
You sit like that. Sit wherever you want.
I could
You get a
almost...
twisted stomach. You'll get yourself ill. I'm worried.
I could almost get the discomfort if you're holding a plate. We checked in with Murray. He was very much on your side of things, but he said if he was going to have it on his lap, which he sometimes does, play it on the legs. That is like you got to keep your legs super still.
And that's also insane.
Play it on your legs. It's so uncomfortable. It's a horrible position to eat a meal.
Yeah, until you get a tray.
Yeah, you have a tray, and then you live in a life of luxury.
The legs create like a valley that you've got to keep closed for your plate.
Sit at the table. Sit at the table.
It occurred to me, so I was thinking, we were talking about this morning, and I was thinking about my first tray had Randy Savage and Hulk Hogan on.
I remember my first tray.
I had a Gladiators tray.
Did you?
Yeah, like the white outline, before the cushion tray was invented. But I'm thinking, it's made me realise today the kids are going to get the first cushion trays for Christmas.
Oh, what a treat.
Josh, my youngest, has been asking for one because he feels like he's graduated beyond the...
What was the next match on NXT, which I hate?
We're about halfway through this show.
Sake.
But thank you for everyone for contributing to the trade debate.
Somebody called me Trey Miguel.
That was really good.
Really like that.
Mackenzie Mitchell's backstage with Carmella Hayes.
Nay White.
Carmella Hayes and Trick Williams. She asked them about the elephant in the room. Not you, Nelly. Trick says, look, we talked. Him chinning me, or me chinning him, or whatever it was last week. Wasn't intentional. Accidents happen. And Melo's like, yeah, very unconvincing. Melo references a lie detector. And Mackenzie's like, what are you talking about? Saying, oh, yeah, prove I didn't attack him. So
let's do a public one of them, please. Middle of the ring.
Mm-hmm. Trick says, I don't know what kind of mind games Lexis King's playing, but I'm going to get him for it.
How can he play a game if you have no mind?
And Melo says, I'm going to
take his to play the game without the pieces. Just bursts in. It's time to play the... I don't know what. What happens next?
Melo says he's going to have Trick's back tonight. Trick says it'd be good to be on the same page, and Melo just sort of gives him a look as they head out.
Big more on this later with Lexis King.
And in the match. Oh, dripping with developments.
Yeah.
Kiana James...
I manipulated myself to issue. It was dripping developments.
Kiana James, very happy about costing Roxanne. Big row in the back. Carmen Petrovic walks in, and Ariana Grace is fizzing, saying you could follow heart, you never go wrong. And this week, Gigi Dolin's like, oh, shut up. See you out there. It's a bare knuckle fight. And Grace is like, why does everything have to end in a fight? I really like this new Ariana Grace character.
I like the character as well. Gigi Dolin wasn't convincing. This was one of them very normal conversations. This was near. There's like 7 people in a frigging line. Kiana James comes in and she's not even permitted to talk to somebody's face. She's got to speak at the camera pretty much. That went really well.
What are you talking about?
It's good stuff.
Anyone want to say? Mackenzie asked Bron Breakker if he has had any remorse. They kind of had the best of both worlds here because they had Bron Breakker like, any remorse about winning a match last week? And then the video package later, they presented it as if it was like, well, Von Wagner put him through a table, so he wins.
We said they would do that.
Yeah.
It was a proper real quiz energy of Von's tabling last week.
He says, no, what I do best is I hurt people, I break everyone. Mackenzie's like, what does this mean for the future? And Dijak says, oh, so you're picking splinters out of your ass. I was winning. I love these two interacting. I was winning a spot in the Iron Survivor. And Ron says, careful, you know what I mean, the Iron Survivor match. Dijak says, yeah, you can't break me, you prick. And Bron says, if I get in, I'll have you begging for retribution.
Huh?
Yeah? Huh?
I get it.
Yeah.
They're funny together, these two.
They're brilliant. Make them a tag team.
Yeah, tag team at the Predator thing where they make friends afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
They could be, they can never be as...
That was the worst thing I've ever done in my life.
Say it again. Put it in post.
Better. They'll never be as charming as the real ones.
Great.
Yeah.
They'll be WWE's outrunners, these two. It's not as charming as the originals.
Oh my God.
That's intense meatheads. Splitters like race.
The Outwalkers.
And then it was time for the ATV qualifying match for Trick Williams and Joe Coffey. Trick Williams gets an amazing reaction, obviously, every single time he comes out. Mark Coffey and Wolfgang are there for some bloody reason. But Trick gets rid of them. That allows Joe Coffey to take advantage, though, and take over. I think that takes us to a break. And when we come back, Trick's trying to make a comeback. Gallus again interferes, and Carmelo Hayes has had enough of this. So he decides he's going to trip Wolfgang up or pull him off the apron. But oh no, in doing that, he low bridges Trick Williams, who spills to the outside. He's like, oh, bloody hell, sorry about that, mate. And then he sees Joe Coffey come flying through the ropes. And does he do like JD McDonough did on Monday Night Raw and push him out of the way and take the bullet from him? He just goes, I'm getting out of here. Trick gets nailed. Coffey gets a near fall off the back of that. But then Trick out of nowhere hits that jumping knee strike and gets the 1, 2, 3. And Carmelo's like, yay, you're in Iron Survivor. And he's looking at the thing behind him, seeing there's some extra spaces as well.
Much more nicely done than the hug they had last week where, what's that look in Melo's eyes? Ask him. The show's got a little barcode, but as soon as that's gone, you can still ask him. This was much better. Like, you could believe that Melo was just trying to help. I really like the low bridge put him in the position for the dive. That was like, wrestling almost never gives a toss about where people should be for dive spots. This was quite nicely arranged. And yeah, this is where this story should be until we get the reveal of what's going on. Not the, I know it come back. Like, well, I'm back. What do you want to tell me? We could solve this right now. Like, this is better.
It was, if they're going to tell the story, there was a way, way more contrived manner in which they could have done it, and I wasn't rolling my eyes that much. And Joe Coffey was in it.
There's definitely and you put them both in Iron Survivor because with the whole, you need to score this many falls in this time, and Melo just costing Trick right at the end, like it writes itself. Really,
it's drama fuel is what it is, and I'm not being ironic. Like it's a good device.
Wesley's walking backstage and he gets surprised by Ilya Dragunov going out of nowhere. Congratulates him on his title win. Ilya welcomes him back. And Lee says, look, moving on now. Starting with Baron Corbin tonight. And Ilya's like, leave a piece of him for me. And Ilya's like, maybe you want to come after this title? And he's like, nah, my mind's on other things. For now, at least. And Baron Corbin's prepping backstage when in comes Lexis King. Corbin's like, hey, nice work on taking out Trick Williams. Lexis King didn't do it, did he?
No.
He's like, yeah, pretty good, wasn't it? And now I didn't get caught. Pretty impressive.
He's just admitted it.
Can't reveal my plans, my secret plans.
And I didn't get caught neither. It's literally that gag in The Office where Michael Scott is Prison Mike and he's saying so many cliches I didn't realize that he's totally contradicted himself, and I never got caught neither, except you're in Prison Mike, so you did get caught. And it's like, yep, got away with it too, even though I've just admitted it on national television. This company, I'm sorry, they are still, and it warms my cynical F the Fed heart. This company is still completely stupid.
Prison Lexus.
At its core, this company is still completely stupid. Like, I miss the days, man. The days of pure Schadenfreude when he could just laugh at these morons in WWE. Kind of got their act together. They kind of got their act together a little bit over the past 18 months, but at the core of this operation, nitwits.
If I was going to say, if laughing at morons is your thing, I'm pretty sure Lexis King's got a 2-year deal, so...
Oh, God.
Strap in.
I'm going to have loads of fun. Loads of fun at that man's expense.
Can you imagine this guy in charge of a master plan, at least? And even then, when the master plan is just attacking backstage. But like, even that's like, right, I need to sit with this for a bit.
Moving on, it's time for all of us to
pay attention, please,
because Scripps was out there with OTM, Lucien Price, Bronco Nima, taking on the Brawling Brutes.
Lima.
Yeah. Was the Grink there?
It's forever now.
What's that again? What's that from?
It's like,
oh yeah, the one time, or
like you're in a terrible accident or something. Oh my God, this awful thing has happened. My house on fire, whatever. Oh God, my one friend who I once accidentally said the Grink to. Oh, was the Grink there?
Well observed.
Butch kind of slaps about Lucien Price to start with, but gets hit with a back elbow. They do the bit where it looks like they're going to do the 10 beats of the Bodron on the apron, but Nima and Price fight out of it. But stop battering him. They look really good in this. Do OTM. Headbutts Butch, chokes him on the middle rope. He distracts the ref, who really should be...
Pay attention, please.
That doesn't work. Because Scripps hits a diving
You just said he really should.
The referee really should.
Pay attention, please.
Fix it in post.
Yeah, put it in post. Scripps hit a diving kick to get a 2 count. Brutal looking clothesline from Price in this as well. But Ridge gets the hot tag, runs in. Avalanche to Price. He picks him up for like a swinging Uranagi for a 2 count. Butch makes the tag. Price grabs him and slams him onto Ridge. There's a front suplex into a high gut buster, a near fall. Nima goes for a chokeslam. Butch hits an enziguri, takes Nima down. Nima goes up top. Nima goes after him. Butch grabs his arm, snaps his fingers, sunset flip bomb. Nima holds on, but Ridge tags in. Butch takes out Scripps and Price. Ridge powerbombs Nima, and they hit that assisted DDT finish of theirs for the 1-2-3.
That was some action, wasn't it? All I know is I was bored, senseless. You did that recap, and thank God, I forgot everything. This match just passed me by completely, and as the hours passed, removed from me watching it, I can never remember this existed. But only vivid memory of this match, which just existed, was I think it was Butch took a bump on the apron. No one reacted. Absolutely no one reacted. It's meant to be this like killer. It's the hardest part of the ring, guys, and no one cared.
That's a matchmaking problem. That this whole thing was to me. I think it was hard to invest. I quite like OTM, but I feel like I'm being instructed not to care that much for the debut vignettes they got versus how it's gone so far when they've actually wrestled.
Well, the losers.
Been really normalised.
You cannot be a supernatural loser. You cannot be a Hoss loser.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that's it.
You can't be a cool loser because you're not cool then because you keep losing. And
you can't be this big and lose because you're just crap then, aren't you?
Yeah.
It's like the Brawling Brutes gear.
It looked nice.
Yeah.
Like I like Pete Dunne when he wears the white singlet, but like even then, but the Brawling Brutes weren't the right opponents for it as well because it doesn't feel like they're cooking, and it's like nothing can stop them momentum with a Brawl. Like if it was Alpha Academy, even fine, I can sort of justify
Otis is a loser.
That's true. Actually, they're on a losing streak too. The Creeds, right? If they just batter them,
Oh my God.
I can take that. But like I don't know, I feel like the Brawling Brutes are there to be losing to teams on the come up.
Waiting for Sheamus to come back, aren't they?
Yeah, I didn't think much of this.
Nah.
Apologies for this bit, but I feel like this needs to be directed right now to Michael Sidgwick. Joe Gacy has been aimlessly wandering even, like a man lost in the desert, looking for a drop of water that doesn't exist. He's a ghost wandering the walls of NXT trying to find his purpose. He doesn't fit in. He's not here to burn ships, be the biggest dog, or do any of that. Unhinged? Maybe. Maniac? He's not here to argue that. Maybe this is where he lets go. Maybe not. And he throws his phone on the floor.
What? Huh?
What's about? He stood on the roof, by the way.
I think
I have never understood a single word Joe Gacy has ever said.
they're doing, I think, a self-own character here, where not self-own, that was only 3 off the roof. It's self-own, where he knows the comparisons that have been made to other, like, spooky characters, cult leaders, whatever.
Yeah.
He's referenced other, what was it, like, Baron Corbin and Roman Reigns got mentioned there, didn't they? And he's having, like, an identity crisis. And when you have an identity crisis, you go crazy. And the NXT roster eventually needs to be terrified, because finally we're going to see the real Joe Gacy. And it's like, I don't think I want the fake one or the real one. This is terrible.
Good worker as well.
Yeah.
Going
Not
to
just
waste.
do a full reset. He's actually a really talented bloke.
Put the
So,
tights on,
just
didn't
a
he, when they put him
full-
with Ava and, like...
A full reset. The guy can go.
Someone tweeted us yesterday saying, "Oh, you forgot to mention Nikki Cross was in the background or something on Raw."
She was. I think it was one of the Seth Rollins segments, maybe.
Yeah.
Just stood there, just staring.
Gigi
Didn't they move her like on pallets, like the bits of equipment? She's just always
to
staring.
the next town. Gigi Dolin versus Ariana Grace. I'm just, very briefly, Gigi Dolin hit a clothesline but got caught with a backslide by Grace. Grace put her feet on the ropes, got caught by the ref. Gigi kicked her in the head, hit a forearm. Gigi driver for the 1-2-3.
Yeah. Look, I think I've seen Priscilla Kelly have some like really good matches, and I have got no idea what's happened. Maybe it's like a confidence issue, and like I don't want to go in 2-footed, but our strikes are pretty bad. So much so that I'm confident I would beat her at bowling.
Good.
Nice.
I like the Ariana Grace character,
Yes.
but I don't like.
End of the world.
It's just it was the work in this match was bordered on atrocious.
Yeah.
But I've seen Priscilla Kelly do some really good stuff, so I don't know what's happened there.
Character's floundering as well.
It's sad to see. It really is sad to see.
Then we get a brilliant video all about the history of Von Wagner and his manager.
Right, yeah. I love this man.
I can't actually.
That's what it is. It is but I still love it.
Yeah.
I've actually forgotten what the name of his flipping manager is now, off the top of my head.
Wilborn. It's Robert Stone.
Oh, you got to see it from the beginning.
Yeah.
And the
I love his
inception. So, they ran from both joined the performance center and both being crap, basically.
That's what they said. Their words, not ours.
And then
Those property of t-shirts.
Honestly, I hate them.
him finally opening up. Robert Stone being like, "What's this?" And
We've had them for like decades.
The property of t-shirts, yeah. So, like
You see like the Funkin' Dojo and they're wearing them.
and they plotted basically their entire history together, culminating obviously with God, what's his name? Not Von, the other one.
Oh, it's Robert Stone.
Getting his ass kicked by Bron Breakker on that bloody spear at night one of Halloween. And Von making the save and the bandage around his head. And then him winning the match against Bron Breakker, of course, last week by putting him through a table, which was the real quiz, as you've both said.
Yeah.
And they're best mates now. What a fantastic story. And they're watching this backstage, and we cut to them, and they're like, look at us, huh? Who would have thought it? Basically what they did. And Von's like, what's that? He's rubbing his scar. He needs to tell him something, but Stone says, don't worry, I got it. Von says, I'm fine with the head thing.
I'm fine, Robert.
And he gets invited to Thanksgiving dinner at the Stone households. Von Wagner is very excited.
Oh my God.
Von Wagner is very excited about the pasta with the sausages.
He wants double sausages, doesn't he? He wants double the amount of sausages.
Hold the asparagus.
Oh, yeah, asparagus. It's like, when like they do the WWE trail off when they get in a promo and they go, oh. Von Wagner's was, I eat asparagus. Asparagus, I eat it. That was it.
It makes my urine smell, Robert.
It's
Even worse than urine.
Thanksgiving's next week. I didn't even realise this. So we get to immediately preview this on the preview next.
I think we might be pressing that button next week. All going well, of course.
Stone family Thanksgiving.
Tony D and Stack's party, Stone Family Thanksgiving. There's barely anything left on this show. Room for anything
Two
else.
separate family celebrations.
Oh my God.
Boy, I love this. What's that? Why is he rubbing his head?
I
He's not
would-
recovered, has he? He's not.
No.
I would like to give thanks, but it is a concept rather than a gift.
Lots to look forward to next week.
Where's my sausage? I'm sorry, Vaughn. My wife is still cooking. Is she promoting a wrestling show?
Mackenzie's backstage with Eddie Thorpe.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Mackenzie's backstage with Eddie Thorpe. Where the bloody hell have you been? She says. He says, beat Dijak, but it took up stuff out for me mentally and emotionally and physically and all that. Needed time to recharge, but I'm back. I'm ready for the Iron Survivor Challenge. And then the boring bastards walk in. Gulak, Dempsey, and Bourne. Says, you're not ready.
Let's go home.
And he says, I've never been broken. Charlie Dempsey says, that's because you never stepped in the room with me. So I'll probably get that next week. Probably.
The useless bullies. How's that a character?
Nah.
Andre Chase leaving the building. No title, of course. And he's just completely attacked almost by reporters. No comment. Chase drives up. Get in. And they drive off. It just all leads to next week. What's going to happen next week?
What's going on?
What is going on? What is going on?
Speculate away. And then we get a goated vignette just reminding us how great Iron Survivor is, basically.
Yeah, good. Skip it.
I watched it on half speed, not double speed, because I wanted to luxuriate in the penalty box. I wish I was the penalty box.
Dude, why do you like it so much?
It's the best new match type of the last 5 years.
No, it isn't.
Yeah,
it isn't,
yeah,
man. It is. I know you're just being a dickhead, but it's. I'm not rising to the.
Agree to
It's anarchy in the friggin' arena, man.
Agree to disagree. I prefer this.
Well, this is the
So we both can agree on. JBL's an arsehole. He's picking the participants next week.
proving ground IMO for this year's Iron Survivor because the first Anarchy in the Ring match was goated. Second one, not so much.
Second one was great.
Pretty good. Had its moments.
Oh, you're talking about Anakin
Anakin
in the Arena.
Arena, yeah.
Watch it again.
Hasn't been a single bad Iron Survivor match so far. Anakin in the Arena, bit of a wobble. Main event time: Baron Corbin versus Wesley.
This is pretty boring.
Yeah. I did like.
Not the comeback I wanted from Wesley at all.
What is that? Has it got a name? Corbin's new. I'm gonna swing you around by one arm and take your head off.
It's not his burn the ships. No, I don't know.
He hit a deep six on the floor to take us to a break after Wesley was doing Wesley things early on. And then he
Separate ways in my head.
comes back.
I tend to daydream when Corbin's in the ring.
Corbin missed a charge, went into the post.
Wish you live.
Lee hit a drop kick out to the floor. 619 around the post. Drop kick gets a 2 count. Double knockdown. And Lee goes to do a big dive onto the outside, but he doesn't hit Baron Corbin. He hits Dirty Dom because he was out there. Both hate Wesley, etc. Wesley's like, what the hell are you doing here? Beats him up, goes back in the ring, immediately gets hit by the end of days. 1, 2, 3. Corbin decides to beat him up even more after the bell. And the NXT World Champion thinks this is not
Very entertaining.
comes in to make the save. But
I love him as the guy that jumps out at you in the corridor if you dare to go to NXT. Like, his words just so allowed now.
Yeah.
How awful would that be?
Jesus Christ. Ilya Dragunov, man. Ilya Dragunov is the absolute ultimate epitome of I need to leave work. Oh my God, that one's leaving at the same time. Oh my God, they sometimes get on the metro at the same time as me. My old place, I told you there's someone, I was like, oh, nah. They were both had this thought process, but it's kind of rude to, oh no, every day. Every day was pain.
12 minutes with Ilya Dragunov.
Then it's 22 because the metro's finished. Absolutely finished the time we had metro line.
The Pine and Pier Petro.
Oh, God damn it.
Corbin beat up Dragunov, stood over him with a title belt, and Dragunov crawled over, grabbed a microphone and says...
Dragunov?
I'll fight you up, Delane.
Deadpool?
Yeah, I get it with Wesley, I do. Obsession with the North American title, Dominic Mysterio, all that. That's where his business is and all that. I'm just not really into it. I think he just sort of come back separate from it completely. He's having this wasn't like exhilarating or anything, but Wesley's bits were good. He's still Wesley. Like, he was at the start of this year, he was the most consistent on NXT by miles. Yeah. So I understand that he probably thinks, that North American title division was in my name, and now I want to claim it all back. And I just don't really buy it. Like, I think he's ascended beyond that. And to be honest, the same with Ilya Dragunov and Baron Corbin. I sort of feel like it's done. I'd like to see Ilya Dragunov defend the title against somebody a bit more within the NXT world rather than this Baron Corbin bonus run.
Baron Corbin's pretty boring in the ring.
Yeah.
We tell like it is on this podcast, so that's how it is.
I think they just realised...
How it shall be.
They've got the NXT version of the Royal Rumble, and they've never put a huge title match on the Royal Rumble because you're buying it for the Royal Rumble, and you're buying it for the Iron Survivor Challenge.
Yeah, true. You're buying it. Like, I'm going to drop my $50 on that one.
And Bikiak. Bikiak.
Anyway, let us know your thoughts on everything we've discussed today in the comment section or on X at WhatCultureWWE. Watch there. You can follow all three of us. You can follow Michael Hamflett at
Michael Hamflett.
Follow Michael Sidgwick at
Sidgwick.
Follow me at Adam Wilborn. Follow us all at WhatCultureWWE, and make sure you subscribe to What Culture Wrestling wherever you get your podcast from. For daily wrestling podcast, the AW Dynamite preview is available right now as a podcast, and we'll be back to review Dynamite as both a video and audio podcast tomorrow. But for now, this has been the NXT review. My thanks to Hamlet, to Sidgwick, to Stax. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon.